about
the money.
wealth or whatever stuff you've amassed as a man. Okay, well.
So it's going to be interesting because a whole lot will be unfolded today. So we want you to stay with us because it's the Mid-Morning Show where we do every Mondays. Now, Mondays, this was a particular one where we're going to have two guests. It's going to be a last session where we're talking back to back and unfolding a whole lot about matchmaking itself.
Yeah, before we delve right into the topic, we'll take this particular feature. You know, so many times you hear people talk about modern marriage, traditional marriage. So, well, we went on the street to ask the question, which would you prefer, traditional or modern? Let's find out what people have to say. We'll be right back.
Traditionally, I'm a Yoruba, and I need to do it. Modernly, I'm married, so I need to do that too. The traditional way too is, I think, is much more better than the this modern one, because all the families will be there. Their prayers cannot be overemphasized, and at the same time, the modern way too, they will attend church or mosque. And the prayers too cannot be overemphasized.
I did modern civilized wedding because of my parents. They are interested in the English wedding by that time. But now I prefer traditional wedding. Just to promote our culture. I'm a Yoruba man. I just want to promote our culture. I prefer traditional wedding for my children.
No, it was Islamic with traditional sort of. Most of the time it has to do with the lady. So she was the one that said that's what she wanted, and the family agreed with her. I believe it's a personal thing. Whatever they wish to do, they will go ahead and do it.
I did both traditional wedding and as a Christian church wedding. I cannot rule away traditional wedding because it's our culture. We cannot deviate from our culture. So we have to do the traditional wedding. And as a Christian, I have to go to church for church blessing. The same thing applies to a Muslim. We prefer to go to mosque for blessing in the mosque. So both should be practiced.
I would actually like a little of both because we can't throw our traditions away. We can never throw it away. And I think with traditions, we can actually keep time because I think during the days of our fathers, they fix a time and they make up to it. So I think I would prefer a little of both.
Actually, I can't really say for now. It's going to be a kind of discussion between myself and my wife. But I would like to blend all together. You know, I would like to feel the touch of each. Then I think it's going to be colorful anyway.
The traditional form of wedding, because it's very rich in culture. It's more elaborate. It's more interesting, and you see different types of gele, different types of Iran buba. You get to see different people with different attires. So it's always fun. It's more elaborate and much more rich in culture, and it shows the respectful way of the Yoruba side of culture.
I think both the traditional and the other ones, because that's to be complete. That's the wedding, that's the for every other marriage.
I think I'll go for the traditional form of wedding. I think so. Because it takes us back to culture. You know, westernization and civilization has spoiled a whole lot of things. So doing the traditional thing reminds us of where we come from and who we are. And it's richer, really. I think it's really the main wedding, if you ask me. I think it's
wedding because it's our culture. We cannot deviate from our culture. So we have to do the traditional wedding. And as a Christian, I have to go to church for church blessing. The same thing applies to a Muslim. We prefer to go to mosque for blessing in the mosque. So both should be practiced.
I would actually like a little of both because we can't throw our traditions away. We can never throw it away. And I think with traditions, we can actually keep time because I think during the days of our fathers, they fix a time and they make up to it. So I think I would prefer a little of both.
Actually, I can't really say for now. It's going to be a kind of discussion between myself and my wife, but I would like to blend all together. You know, I would like to feel the touch of each. Then I think it's going to be colorful anyway.
The traditional form of wedding, because it's very rich in culture, it's more elaborate, it's more interesting, and you see different types of gele, different types of Iran buba. You get to see different people with different attires. So it's always fun, it's more elaborate and much more rich in culture, and it shows the respectful way of the Yoruba side of culture.
I think both the traditional and the other ones, because that's to be complete. That's the wedding in the church, the traditional, the registry, and every other one. Because that's to be complete. That's for every other marriage.
I think I'll go for the traditional form of wedding. I think so. Because it takes us back to culture. You know, westernization and civilization has spoiled a whole lot of things. So doing the traditional thing reminds us of where we come from and who we are. And it's richer, really. I think it's really the main wedding, if you ask me. I think the white one is just formalities.
That was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Like I said, we were on that break. I wish I had my own traditional wedding, not in the Yoruba culture, but in the Igbo culture. And I said it, and everybody felt so weird. And then, hello,
Of
Yoruba.
course, last I checked,
Honestly,
Yoruba,
I wanted to.
Igbo.
Yeah, I just wanted to do it, so that when they call me out as the bride, I'll just, you know, I'll do that dance, or like the Yoruba that I'll just go and do. I just wanted something
I see
different.
what's happening here. You
Honestly.
watch a lot of music.
Yeah.
That's not the way.
So
it's
I just
done.
wanted something different, honestly.
The reality might shock you.
Honestly. So the one in the video is different.
That's
okay, don't bother.
glamorized.
Let's not drag it. But it was something I really wanted, something different from what was in the house, in the culture. But culture is culture. Don't joke with it.
All right. I agree with you.
Culture is culture.
Okay, whoever you ask, the reality is different people have different opinions when it comes to traditional or modern marriage. There are those who feel that the modern came to replace the traditional.
Yeah,
and we
some
should
people
return
believe that.
to the days of yore when it was all about traditional.
The traditional wedding,
And there are those who feel that, okay, you should have a blend. And some say, okay, it makes it more expensive. Okay, so whatever it is, I guess the old thing comes down to what you want as a person and what fulfills you as a couple.
The fusion of both makes it really interesting and makes you, even your guests, to be exposed to a whole lot of newness.
So
in wedding, yeah.
It's an exercise in learning. Okay, great one. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's still the mid-morning show right here on BCOS television, and today is a special day because it's the last Monday in the month of February, and we're discussing something quite important, of course, related to relationships and marriage, talking about matchmaking, the essence and evolution.
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, in those days, when you talk about the Yoruba setting, it's more like you're interested. You don't just go, you don't see a lady as a man and you run to her.
No.
You don't do that.
There are ways.
Okay, who is her father? If you'll be luckier if our brother is your friend.
No,
it's easier.
It's not lucky. Don't say luck. Some brothers can be very like, who are you? Yeah. So,
but
some brothers don't like that.
Even if it's that way, the reality is, if it's your friend, is likely to give you a soft landing.
Anyway, yeah.
So I don't think actually goes through that particular process. Then we have what you call the go-between. Yoruba say alarino.
I know.
But those days seems to have been, they are far gone. The reality now is quite different.
I think they're coming back. Some people have been being paid to do a whole lot of research, to do a lot.
Okay.
So
all right, then.
a lot of things are changing. You know.
Okay, we'll find out. We have a whole lot to unpack in discussing this topic. And that's why we're happy that we have able persons in the studio with us to help us with this conversation. Talking about Mrs. Vivian Allright, who is a certified marriage counselor and also early learning tutor, right? Great. And Dr. Lawrence Olajide Taiwo, who is the initiator and CEO, Global Center for Elder Relationships and leadership. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's nice having you on the show. Now, for matchmaking, we've been talking about a whole lot, having to have someone in between, having to ask a whole lot of questions. But on normal terms, what can you say matchmaking is? And I'm talking to you, Mrs. Vivian.
Okay, so matchmaking is an intentional person coming to put two people together. Okay. Probably you would have seen a young lady and you further to meet make inquiries and tell them that CEO, your beautiful daughter looks, she looks like someone who will be very fit for Solomon. So why don't you help us make this work? So you would have seen a prospective person who you feel will be a good match for this person, and then you try to make it work. And let's not forget that most times you don't force it down their throats. You just try to make it work. And it's fair to let it go if it doesn't work. But most times it pulls through. It's usually successful, and sometimes it doesn't because of differences in their personalities and their persons generally.
So you don't force it down their throat.
No, no.
Now, when we've had stories in times past of people who were told, you're going to get married to this person, and that's final. And it's more like, and usually you find women are oftentimes the ones in that situation.
Yes.
They're told, look, you cannot marry someone else besides this person we've chosen for you.
Yeah.
So considering what you just said, I'll come to Dr. Lawrence now.
Yes.
Ways, force down their throat, or are there clauses or exceptions to the rule?
Yes, thank you very much for it. There's culture. Situations arises when the person to get married has no say. And that has to do with when the family and other things that has to do with the background, the things that people want to maintain, maybe the family background or the cultural background or a particular set of people that they have actually picture could come into a particular family.
Yeah.
Then in that case, the person don't have a choice. Okay? And that is where issue of when in matchmaking, it's neither here nor there. It depends on the situation at hand and the people that are involved. In terms of, the status, the culture. For instance, if somebody, because choices are now coming in, people are now having preferences, people are now seeing things beyond tradition and culture, and they are going into aspect of relationship building, wanting to go with somebody that can spend my life with, that can help me to develop my total man. A lot of things come into it. The value, the vision, your passion. The concept of marriage, actually, matchmaking is not, as it were before, people did not put you into consideration.
Yeah.
But now, you have a choice. You have to say, this is what I want. I have a vision, this person that is coming to marry me, or I'm going to marry, is going to allow me to help me to achieve my purpose. Things like that are coming in now. People are now more conscious of who they are and what they want to achieve.
Okay.
The values are changing. The passion changing. Vision changing. People have things they want to achieve for themselves, and they are looking for somebody that can help them. So compatibility comes in, and intentionality also comes in.
Okay, so largely, when it comes to choice,
Yes.
that's an evolutionary trend.
Sure.
At the initial stage, it was not a case of what you wanted, but what they felt was good for you.
Yeah.
Now, with the family as the custodian or guardian in this particular case, don't we think that there are some issues that basically crop up that make people really uncomfortable? Because, for example, when we talk about the family being guardians, everything is at their discretion. So if they think that they're looking for comfort for you as their child, so basically if they look at a family and this young man is like, he doesn't have so much, okay? It may not necessarily, he's not poor, he's not just hitting the mark they've set for wealth, okay? And it becomes the case, okay, you can't marry our daughter. So in that particular case, can we say matchmaking in that situation gives the right results? It's all right.
Okay, so if the situation is this young man is not meeting your target, and the two people involved, let's say, for example, they actually finally find themselves interesting and want to move further with the relationship, at that point, that's where the evolution is coming in. The two know that they can make this work. In as much as you're not seeing his financial progress, but they both believe that with their teamwork, they'll be able to make things better for them. So it's not necessarily about the finance, but they would have seen that emotionally they are compatible. And they feel like with themselves being together, they'll be able to make things work for them. They'll be able to find their ways around the whole situation to make their finances grow. And we should know that these days, it's not like the olden days where the women were not working. And it was more of the family finance sponsoring most of their lives. Right now, everyone is working. So the lady knows she has the capacity to help this young man move up to the financial expectations of the family. So it's not really a problem for the two people, but the custodians who have an expectation may probably have to be patient to wait, to give them a chance to prove that they can actually make this work.
So for matchmaking now, in those days, as much as it looked like it was a norm, at some point it became compulsory. Now we're in the new era, but we still see a lot of people do matchmaking. Now I want us to now look at the people in between, the person in between, the person who actually does the matchmaking. As much as there are two parties involved, there's someone who actually does the matchmaking. So what are those things this person actually looks out for to say, okay, this person is a perfect fix for the individual?
Okay, so myself and my husband, funny enough, a friend of ours recommended me to him. So that friend of ours was my friend. He had initially liked me, but when he saw our personality match with the way I was behaving and with his own behavior, he knew that I won't be able to deal. So when he told my husband, I know that she's the kind of ladies you like. So I know that the two of you can make it work. So he made the suggestion, and my husband headed, does she react easily? Is he calm? So when you put those things together, you're able to predict. It's more like you're predicting. It's not like it's a final state, but you're predicting. You feel like with the way the two of you behave, I feel like something can work here. And I think 5 years later, the relationship started. So it wasn't an immediate effect. My husband was still my friend. We used to talk. I used to confide in him. We used to talk a lot. And before we knew it, we started. And it moved up like that. And today we are married. So the people who try to make the match are usually intentional too. You're not just trying to, this guy has vibe, she has vibe. It's deeper than that. For people who really are into matchmaking, it's way deeper than just vibes. You go further.
I like that. It's way deeper than that. But sir, do you think at some point the matchmaker or the person in between can actually make a mistake?
Yeah, sure, definitely, because only God is perfect. However, there's what we call intuition. People, by prompting, actually know that something can happen, And as a result of, we have professional matchmakers. We have people that have gone into this concept over time. They have experience. They may not have professional training, but they have something that they know over time, because it is not only the first time they are doing it. They have done it in several places and for several people. So they have come to discover certain things that go together. But most important, not just the madam has said, is the issue of compatibility. And seeing a little bit, like talk about intuition, having an inner eye to be able to see that this may probably be what may be the outcome of this relationship. Then things like that work. People talk about, at times, people throw questions. They will want to test the waters. Look at your mood. We have mood swings, all those things. The temperament, that just as you mentioned, all those things actually come into play. But let me just rewind back from what we talked about. I just want to tell you something about the culture the other time. In Yoruba culture, or even in Africa, there's a balance in Yoruba. I've said it in English again. Orulana. Now, what it means is that people give a lot of reference to the in-laws, especially on both sides, but especially on the wife side.
Yeah.
And people push for marry the family.
Yes.
People push for marry the family because if things go wrong, you have a place to run to. But when people say, I don't care, I want to go with my family, I want to go with my husband or go with the person because we like each other, we are getting things right now. Peradventure, things may go wrong, there may not be somewhere to go back to. So in that case, matchmakers also look at that, the way it's, because in matchmaking, it's not only about the individuals, you also consider the entire environment, including the in-laws and things like that.
Now, before we move to a different segment, I want us to take a look at this. India, they have this history of arranged marriages.
True.
And you look at a country like China, there's this family-mediated sort of arrangement. So in Nigeria, we're not for matchmaking is not foreign to us. But then what you have to consider the concept of betrothal as well. Even when people are still children, it's like everything is sealed, done, dusted. Okay, you're marrying. So sometimes those children are groomed, to like each other and everything. So by the time they're actually ready, it feels like it's their choice. But it was more like programming.
Yes. They've been programmed.
Yes,
They've been groomed.
Yes. So when you look at these realities all together, would we say this is quite healthy? Because in the end, you're talking about marriage being responsible people, adults who old enough to make their own decisions and be responsible for their choices coming together. But then how can you hold them responsible when the choices wasn't made for them? So is matchmaking sound when we look at it from this particular perspective?
Yeah.
This is all right.
Okay. So if matchmaking is sound in that aspect, so you gave a scenario where they are being groomed into getting married at the end of the day. So there's something that usually happens. The time they get to spend together also matters. But there are some extreme cases where sometimes maybe the person leaves home, goes to school outside home, and he knows he has someone back home. And then you're leaving home to find education, and then in the process of you getting that education, you get to meet somebody.
Sorry if it's all right. I'll have to cut in there.
Okay.
We'll continue that question
Okay.
when we return
right.
after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Protect every day with Hypo.
Germs always find a way back.
So disinfect your kitchen every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No breeze. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
much for staying tuned. It's still the mid-morning show right here on BCOS television, and we're discussing matchmaking, essence, and evolution with our guests here, talking about Mrs. Vivian Allright, a certified marriage counselor, and Dr. Lawrence Olajide Taiwo, the initiator and CEO, Global Center for Relationships and Leadership. Thank you so much once again for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mrs. Allright, before we went on that commercial break, you were trying to answer the question, looking at the context of it, when people just are pushed in to marriage, it's not their choice. Whether they are groomed, whether it's a case of betrothal when they were still little, but they were groomed into that role. It wasn't a choice they made. They are adults, but the choice was not theirs. So how can they be responsible for choices they did not make? So you were trying to clarify that.
So I was saying that a situation where someone is leaving home for school, and then him leaving home to school, and then he's going to interact with a lot of people, different people from what he knows back home.
Okay.
So there's the tendency of that person having a change of mind. Now you found something new, more exciting. Let's not forget he has been back home with that said person he's supposed to get married to, and the routine is normal. You wake up every day, you know this is your wife, you go there, good morning ma, good morning sir, hello. Okay, he's supposed to be my husband, she's supposed to be my wife. Hello, hi. And if she's not someone who is laid back and there's nothing exciting from her end, you just know she's waiting to be my missus. And then he goes out there and he finds somebody who is excited about life. The person is ready to explore. The person is ready to go on hiking. The person is just exploring. The person is willing to do a lot of things. But back home, there's nothing exciting. This lady is just waiting for me to be her husband. So there's going to be that part where this person is, I don't want that, is too regular. That's what has been happening. And if it's unfortunate for that person, if the parents are not even having a good marriage from the said matchmaking, there will be no motivation. So he has discovered something new. He would push for it. And that's where you hear parents saying, education is spoiling things for us. No, the person has gone out to have a different exposure from what...
They might also say the other lady, you wish...
Yeah. So you now hear things like, this lady has used jazz for you and all of that. But that's not it. This person has seen the light. He's seen something more interesting and he's ready to push for it. Even if it means disobeying. Of course, we hear stories of where people disobey and go ahead and do what they want to do. But of course, like he said earlier, tradition is tradition. You would always need family. So he would try his best, have ways to convince. And you know, sometimes our parents can be very adamant. We made this decision and you have to stick to it. But the two people involved, you'll be surprised that even the lady does not even like this guy. But because we have been groomed, he's going to be your husband, you're going to be his wife. So let's see how it goes. But at the end of the day, we as parents, in as much as we have good intentions for our children, I think we should be open-minded to let them express themselves. Our decisions to pick a wife for them was from a place of love. And like I said, most times there are things at stake. Maybe these two parents have business that they've built together and they want it to remain in the family. So most times here, we have to keep this in the family. We don't want it to go out. So my friend's daughter has to be a wife. So that is at stake. So you're saying you don't want this to go out, but your child is saying, I'm sorry, even if it means leaving this family business, I don't mind. I've seen something exciting. So as parents, we should be open-minded to sometimes listen. It doesn't mean that most times you are always right. There are some times as children, you have your errors, but we should be open to have conversations and listen to them and hear them out and then see where it goes. But we need to be open-minded because it's not a one-way traffic. It can be dicey.
So matchmakers so before you answer that question, so matchmakers now as guides, not as people just making the
final decision. No. You can guide.
As much as we are saying you can guide, they are flexible. Let's now come down to what is happening in our modern times now. We see so many marriages going through a whole lot that people are now demanding and saying, please let matchmaking come back. So I want to come to you, sir. Should we now say that as much as matchmaking has some lapses, do you think it should be a thing that should be practiced often in our time?
Yeah, let me thank you very much for that. it is not that it should be, because that is inviting some compulsion, but it is something that is okay. Because in relationship, a lot of things comes into it.
Yeah.
Many things are involved, and the most important thing is that do you know exactly in the old people saying, experience is a great teacher.
Actually, it's the best teacher.
It's the best teacher.
Best teacher.
The best teacher. And that is an elderly will always know what is going to happen, in the future, right from this time.
Why isn't that a problem? Do they always do?
They always assume.
It's not always like that,
Yes.
but experience at times is always is a good teacher. Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
Matchmaking should be encouraged, but it should not be something that should be kind of enforced.
Okay.
Because in the context, within the concept of what we're having right now, the issue that the marriage also has some emotional issues there, and when emotions are involved, it is important for two people that want to go through the experience to always come together and pass through the experience together. So in that context, the matchmaker or somebody who wants to be a matchmaker, who's doing matchmaking, is like a facilitator. A facilitator is somebody who is not actually telling the other person to do something, but showing the pros and cons and allowing them to make a decision. So you see, this is a person, this is a background, this is what you may likely have. If you go through, he has this background, he has this education, he has this potential, this is what he can do, this is this other person. Then the matchmaking, can actually come from the point of facilitation, not from the point of should be something that should be done.
Okay.
Now, and a lot of things, is coming together and getting married. For instance, I've been married for more than 30 years.
Nice.
What happened at that time, many things, let me tell you my story. Now, my wife actually came to the local government where I was working at that time, at Akumasa local government, to serve. And as an elderly man, she saw this way, my wife used to relate with me as a copper. Okay. I was working in the local government at that time. And she took me as a friend. Anytime she wants to, she has issues, she come to me, and I just love her as a sister.
She was like a sister.
Just like a sister. But one day, an elderly man was going to say, Baba Julie, his name was Bam, he's late now. Baba Julie said, Jide, this girl like you. Fair now.
That's a subtle.
Just a subtle. Matchmaking. It just this girl. He has unfortunately, working together in the local government. He has been seeing us together, relating as friends, relating as brothers and sisters. People around the community that she's very free with me. But I was not talking to her to marry me. I just took her as a sister. But that word. That mama said, Jide, fair. The next time I saw her, I began to see her in another way.
Yes, see her differently.
I began to see her
can actually bring a spark.
I began to see her differently. I now begin to see the feature that I was not seeing before. And I started to see her, but she's very beautiful. And from that point, I thank God.
Wow. Great.
So she did not, the matchmaker, so to say, did not actually sit us down. It did not, it was just like in the passing. Not more than a minute. It just said, Jide, Ahmadi, fair.
You're wasting time.
And that was what happened.
Now, we admitted that matchmakers can be flawed. Okay. Now, there is usually this tension between love or emotion and the practical. Sometimes you speak to some people and they tell you, okay, look, you these young people, all you are thinking about is emotion, what feels good. That's not marriage. It doesn't matter. Love develops later. Okay? It's more like they just completely erase the emotional side of romance and we think it's just about what's practical. So, and for that reason, young people tend to have a conflict with people who hold a particular view. So, in your view, what should matchmaking today look for? Should the focus be centered on what's practical or a blend of the practical and the emotional? Yes.
Actually, it should be a blend of the practical and emotional. Relationship is art intricacies.
So emotions matter.
Emotions matter because emotion will help you to express what is in your heart.
Okay.
Emotion will express, and what is in your heart actually matters to sustain a relationship. What you are thinking about happens in your mentality, but what you feel, that is where your emotion lies, and that is your heart. Anything you give your heart to, that is where your passion is. If you give your heart to a marriage, it's going to work because passion will drive it. And passion is a thing of the heart. And passion has to do with your emotion. Yeah. So that is why marriage is more, it's more emotional. It's emotional, but there are other factors that are there. There are other factors that are there.
Okay.
Just like we have the total man concept, 4 things are very important.
Okay.
The spiritual component, the mind, the heart, and the earth status. People also look at genotypes and compatibility in terms of that is why in the olden days people go into research about diseases and things like that happen in a particular family. Yeah. Because they are looking at the health or physical component of that compatibility. So, issue of spirituality, I'm not talking about religion now, because we also in matchmaking, we can also have interfaith. It depends on the value of the people that want to be involved. But in actual fact,
I'm going to lay this out this way. Sometimes you speak to people and they tell you, you see, when I met my husband, in fact, I've had someone use the statement, I hated him. Okay, it's okay, I did not even like him. I didn't want to be with him. So when you hear such things and they tell you, but later, well, the love grew. So, I mean, how feasible is the concept that you can just go ahead and marry for what is practical and believing that love will develop later?
So I think it's what was sold to people and it worked somehow. Because there are a certain age of people who will tell you love does not matter, like you rightly said. But that concept was sold to them, like, see, you just love this man. Give it time.
It was more about endurance.
Yes. So the children come in. So the love you have for your children most times makes you think you love that person. But there's that love that comes with being a parent. When you see your child, there's that love. It's instant. You don't even know how this child will look, who this child will look like. But once you set your eyes on that child, you just fall in love with that child. So these children help in creating the love they think they have. Really, some may actually grow into it. But I feel like that concept was actually sold for people to believe that they grow into love. I believe, for one, that there should be
a semblance of it.
Yes, even if it's not fully blown, let it be a substance of love. Because imagine you don't love somebody and that person annoys you. I love my husband, and when he upsets me, I am really upset. When he does anything, so imagine if I don't like him on a normal day. So imagine how upset it's going to be. It may even take me longer time to even let it go. But when I look at his fine face, and this tall, fine man, is it because they are tall and fine? Do you get? There's something that makes you love that person. But you're saying you don't even love this person. And then you're marrying this person and you're growing into love with that person. I feel there are usually external things that makes that love grow. not necessarily from spending time with the person.
So I guess it's over time the person seems to adapt.
Yes, you just
or
find
just stay
yourself-
close to the person.
You just create. It's more like creating the environment for the love. And yes, and then sometimes when these children are grown and they've left home, that's why you start hearing things like, "I want a divorce," because there's actually nothing. There's no essence why you want to stay with this person, because the children are grown. They've all grown up. They are married with their families. So why should I stay with this man? I want my space. It's like I want space. He's irritating. So.
But now matchmaking is kind of evolving. So a lot of things are happening. We have apps that actually do the matchmaking. And all you have to do is tell me the app will just say what do you want? Blah blah blah, and they matchmake.
The specs.
So the spec. So can we say that even in the modern times, the dating apps, can't they do that which the matchmakers do on a normal day? Can't that be achieved to an extent as well?
I don't think so. And the reason is that, you see, marriage is organic. Marriage is not inorganic. What I mean by that is that it has life. Marriage, carries life. And a lot of things comes into it that makes it grow. From the concept of love that my sister was talking about the other time, love actually grows. It may have a spark at the beginning, but it's not just one of the pillars, It's not one of the pillars that build relationship or build marriage. There are other pillars. I developed a page for about four pillars. Love, trust, integrity, and team spirit. Those 4 pillars are very important. But those pillars don't stand without the foundation. The foundation is communication, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and conflict management. So those foundations are always what should be prepared. So can app do that? How cannot do that? What apps do? This automation, what they just do, look at program statistics. Program something into the computer. This person has this trait. This may be likely be personality trait. It will match with this one. And where is the feeling? Is the feeling there? Where is the organic component of marriage there? So people had also realized it does not mean that it has not worked. Because people that are fixed by app, some of them have worked. But they tend to come from the inorganic to the organic by trying to grow what binds them together. Okay? The communication is there. And it's the first foundation of any relationship, including marriage. It's not even love. If I want to love you, I must see you first. I must interact with you first. I must have a contact. And the first thing that happens, in contact is communication. You may not talk, but I've seen this one. Oh, beautiful. Then communication is not only about talking. We have other types of communication, non-verbal communication. All those things are there. But that's the first foundation. When it's there, you now go back and begin to think about it. Because it is that contact that gives you an idea of the person that you have seen. And in apps, how is that one going to be? Now.
Okay.
So these are the things that comes into it.
Okay. Now we're coming back to you, Mrs. Vivian. All right.
Yeah.
Now I get what Dr. Lawrence was talking about. Now, but when you look, it might be easier to just relate to that when you're thinking of just the way the app is structured. Let's throw AI into the mix.
Yeah.
Every stroke, everything you do, the questions you ask, we have what we call cookies now.
Yeah.
Learn your habits, the places you go, the place you visit, and a lot of the information about you are gleaned without you even knowing.
True.
Now, all this comes into play when AI is matching you with someone else. A lot of people have said there's a high chance of the person getting you someone who actually is compatible with you in so many ways. So when you look at that, can we actually write off, the fact that he admitted, of course, that it may be working, but not in all cases, and there is the emotional component missing.
Yeah.
So AI may not be able to feel like we do, But the reality is, when it has enough information, sourced from us, it tends to become close to perfect when it's making predictions about us. So don't you see this changing matchmaking for the future?
Okay, so I think there may be a little bit of concern, especially when we say AI is gathering information. So another question will be, do we really give honest answers to those questions? Are we just building up a profile to get someone? It's like going for a job. You won't go there with a CV that is not good. You will have to make it look good. Even if you don't have some of those skills, you just put it there, I will learn on the job.
Okay, before you go ahead,
okay.
Now this is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Now, in the case of where you log on to a dating app, it asks you questions and you're giving the answers. That's quite different because you get to tell it whatever it is you want. Now, imagine a case where you are just told, all right, sign up onto this app, and then it says, okay, give the permission to visit your Facebook, to read your this and read your that, and you just check yes, and you go submit. And basically has to generate its own information, not you answering questions now. Based on what it learns from you, it makes predictions. So you're not the one answering questions now. It's the one determining who you are based on your activities online.
Okay, so I think with that, there's a possibility that is actually going to make sense. Because it, like you said, it has watched my activities, it has seen everything, and is now going to pair you up with someone. So I feel that is quite a good place. There's some honesty there because at this point, I am not the one giving the response. It has gone through my activities. And of course, if those are my regular, you can't hide it because it's actually going to see what you post in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, your Facebook, Twitter, everything. And at the end of the day, it will come to a conclusion that this is the kind of person this person is. So it's able to put it out there for the match.
So I want to ask now, in the next few years, where do you see matchmaking going? Do you think it's going to go extinct, or there's going to be a thorough comeback of matchmaking?
There's going to be a comeback. Because I feel like singles these days they're not ready to do the work. Like a lot of them will tell you, I'm busy, I'm at work, I don't go out. When you tell them, go out more, hang out more. My work, a lot of people work online these days, so everyone is at home. Everything is happening online. You order food from your house, you want ice cream, you order everything, pizza is coming to meet you at home. So you're not even going out to interact with people. So matchmaking, people will have to do it because you're not going out. I have this nephew who is so nice, he's good, and you seem to be good. Should I give you his number? Can you guys chat? Because that's what's going to happen. A lot of people are laid back. Nobody wants to do the work.
Can we say it's laziness or they don't want to go through unnecessary drama?
I feel some will tell you some guys are not serious or some girls are not serious. Everyone keeps saying the other gender is not serious. But at the end of the day, you guys are also not doing things that will make the supposed opposite gender serious with wanting to have a relationship. Where you're not even showing any sign of commitment, even with the people you get to meet. There's no sign of commitment. Even when you go out, you're not acting ladylike or like a gentleman. You're laying demands that are not even supposed to be happening on your first outing. Imagine you go out with a lady and then you're telling her she should follow you home. Hello, you're supposed to be trying to know each other.
Sure.
Know things about this person. Before you even start inviting them to go home, there are a lot of places where you can just go out and hang out. So everyone is saying guys are not serious, ladies are not serious. But at the end of the day, like I said, the way things are going right now, matchmaking will have to come in. I don't see it going into extinction because parents, family members, uncles, aunties will have to put on their caps to help. Because
at this point,
yes,
we're going back to the
yes, because I was harassing someone. He's my friend in church, and there was a singles hangout in church for the singles, and he did not attend. And then there was a backdrop in church that had love notes for the couples, and he was opening it to read. I said, "Hello, leave that place." He said, "Why?" I said, "There was a single hangout. You did not go there." And you're here looking for love letter from who? You didn't go there. You didn't go there to mingle. You didn't go there to be friends. You didn't go there to interact with people. How do you expect love to come?
Okay, Dr. Lawrence.
Yes.
When we talk about the future
Yes.
of matchmaking, I've seen a lot of research done and proposals given on the possibility of using DNA as a factor for predicting compatibility.
That would be so nice.
In the future, there's going to be so many weird matchmaking plans or all over the place.
Yeah.
So now, if this is the reality and we have all these options, would you advise young people to cling to those or to work, better at creating opportunities to meet people, actually socialize?
Yes, that's the word. You say socialize. Now, when you get to a gathering, even when people go to socialize, when they get to the gathering, people will be pressing their phone.
Exactly.
Oh,
yes.
You've seen people, okay, we are going for hangout. Okay, let's go. And they get to the place, food is served, everybody is pressing their phone.
Yes.
Nobody is asking for anything.
Yes.
Nobody is talking to anybody.
Perhaps at hangout, you should begin to create a box.
Box,
drop your phone.
Or then we create activity, of course.
In fact, my husband, whenever he has such, sorry to call
Yeah,
you,
quite nice and
whenever
good
he
one.
has gatherings like that, he will always tell, put your phones down. Make sure your screen has your picture so you're able to identify that. So just do that, put your phones out, because the truth is, people are no longer talking. People just were hanging out. They're on their phone 24/7, checking football match scores.
Actually, I'm a victim of that.
Even when they're chatting on their phone.
I go out and I'm on my phone, I'm checking updates, especially if there's a match that day.
Okay. As you are saying, that's just a thing. We have to come back to socialization.
Yeah.
We have to come back to intentionally and consciously socialize with one another. And that is why, if you look at everything in life, even in the whole world now, is from the past to the present, which is AI and technology, and everybody is going back to the past.
Wow.
Okay, before we go ahead.
And that is exactly
sorry, sir.
Okay.
I have to come in now. We have a short commercial break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation.
Okay.
Please don't go anywhere.
Dirty and stains don't do shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go hypo. Protect your home every day with hypo.
No greed. Protect every day with hypo.